Good morning, Patriots. I'm going to try to place you here and go about folding my flags and talking to you. I just want to say, first of all, it is of utmost importance that you grow lungs and you grow tongues and you start speaking up. Oh man, my flagpole just fell down because that's how powerful this message is. What's going on in the Congress right now is ludicrous. I fold these flags several times a week, and I thought I'd share this with you for a moment and ask you to tell you that these people that I know that are very bad and even evil, Pre-Step, Podestas, Biden, the evilest one that was alive at the time was G.H.W. Bush, the son of Prescott Bush. These people found Nazism or fascism, whatever was going on there with the occult nature of the German efforts, and the Nazi regime drew on occult power. Now, they tried to take our country even before World War II and was messed up by Major General Bigford, I think was his name, something like that. He's a Medal of Honor winner. They went to him to rally the veterans to bring in this new form of government. He recorded the stuff, he wrote down notes, he turned it over to Congress or the Senate, one of them, and Prescott Bush was the banker for the Nazis. Now, at the end of World War II, right around the time that they brought the 1,500 over, or whatever they did on the record so they could somehow cover the sins of the rest. God bless you. So, and then all of the Bushes were headlong involved in things like assassinations. But the key thing to remember about the really evil ones is that they literally draw their power from human sacrifices, mass human sacrifices. They've been playing us because they got a better perspective. They may be from outer space, they may be from dimensional travel. God only knows. The one thing we know is that these guys ain't about anything good. And when I say that, I mean that in the truest and most essential way. They have used their power to get more power, and not in the name of anything good. They do good things, but it mostly hides their bad things. So And that's not saying that there's not good in all of them. It's just saying at a very young age, they have instilled in them either what we call in psychiatric terms or psychological terms, second identity. In religious terms, we call it a demon. Somewhere in between there is what happens when they do their ritual abuse around the 18-month mark. And so going on with the axis, their names of all these people, and not all of them by any way. This is not all-inclusive. There's so many of them, and it goes so far. There's the senior executive services. Almost everyone in that is dirty. The Crown has their fingers in almost everything we do. You know, our military bases, flight control. You'd just blow your mind. And the thing that scared me with Hillary is that I heard her on a tape, and she was bragging to someone she thought was a credentialed person in the devil's church. And so she was kind of touting her accomplishments, and she was talking about when as an attorney she got a guy off who had raped a 6 or 9-year-old boy in there somewhere. And they had the underwear that he had penetrated through to do his thing, so there was a lot of evidence. And she got one of her group who was published and was an acknowledged expert. And then when the prosecution, she challenged the evidence, and when the prosecution tried to come up with it, all the evidence was cut away and only part of the briefs were left. And her resonance in her voice as to that just blew me away. And then from the ashes of Waco, or Armageddon, that was a great forensic examination from the spiritual side and the forensic side of what happened there. And I had very strong response, like when Randy Weaver's family was attacked. You know, I knew that they were trying to turn him over. A Green Beret doesn't accidentally cut a shotgun off a 1/4 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch beyond the law. That was definitely something that they did in order to flip him and get in with them religious guys, because they had to be, you know, doing something terrible. And his wife, before his wife was shot, when his boy was killed, I got a hold of Gary Justice, who was at Cairo here in town, Channel 7, and I told him that something terrible was happening, that they planned to kill all them people. And Bo Gritz, I think, got involved in that, and brought what was left of the family out of there. That wasn't so lucky there in Waco, what they did there. I'm walking across the United States in 1995, and in Bronson, Missouri, 2 people came up to me, bang, bang. One was a lady who said that she had evidence that the part of the Persian Gulf syndrome was a influenza, you know, what do they call it, you know, these shots they want you all to take, vaccination, and it's the side effects of that. And then another guy right after that, and these both blew my mind completely away. A big, tall guy with dark eyes, like guys coming out of the field in Vietnam, you know, the drawn look. And he said that he had an FBI forensic photographer, and he had been doing it for a long time, 18, 28 years, so I don't know what it was. But he wasn't doing it anymore. Those people in Waco were homicided. And 2 years later, my sister made me watch this video, and oh my gosh. So, more really bad honest people. Okay, so the Operation Paperclip, these numbers, official numbers came over, and then a whole bunch more. But what will blow your mind is with this genetic thing that they've been tracking us down with, it tracked them down too. And the relationship of these people will blow your mind. It's all out there. It's just whether it comes out here. We know, those of us who are paying any attention at all, that if you want to get any kind of information, you can't trust Fox, you can't trust CNN, you can't trust any of them. You got to go to source. Now, I have people who go to source, and I really trust them. And I really trust them. I know that they do everything in their power. Tracy Beans, she's not a PAC person, but boy, I'll tell you what, she's done some incredible work. And, oh gosh, I don't want to name people because they get sick and die and shit. And Tracy, I got such a prayer protection over you, woman. You know, just stay in the spirit, man. Just stay with the Lord. So anyway, I ramble. Let me get to it and get done through it. This human trafficking is huge. It wasn't Pizzagate. It wasn't Pedogate. This thing has been going on as long as we were a civilization. They've been hidden among us. They consider themselves to be from either a source outside of our planet or from a deity themselves. But they bring people in and they use us, and they've used and abused us for a very long time. And there is an alliance of spiritual entities and physical entities that have come together to free us. And only we can blow ourselves up. So it's got to be humans that hit the button. And I'm praying with all my heart that Donald Trump is the real deal. I am backing him 100% because anything short of that won't get this job done. One of the arts of war is to come in harsh, and as things get better, go gentle. And I'm hoping that's where President Trump is. The misdeeds and the psychological, physical, every kind of warfare that they could bring upon this man, spiritual warfare, believe me, it's been brought upon him. I was just carrying a 4x6 American flag with a Bible on my side that said Fred Pepper USA. And I'm going through near Vader, Washington over there with the people bicycling, and this group of people goes by and they're yelling and stuff. I didn't pay much attention to them. I thought they was being patriotic even. Went by their house, and I just was the loudest and upsetting thing. You know, I'm walking, so, you know, a mile takes 20, 30 minutes. And so I get to their house, and they carry on, and I get by them, and I go, oh boy, I'm glad I'm by them. And I go for hours, and I don't remember exactly how long, but this caravan of people, longer than the first caravan goes by me, they go to this house. And I get up there, and I mean, I get this, when I get really scared, when I was going across the United States, I'd pull over, put my shit out, or pardon me, put my things out and pray or open the Bible and just grab a point and read. And there was a thing, not of anything that I've heard. I've been on farms. You know, I'm not a farmer. I'm not a rancher, but I've stayed on them. I've loved that stuff, and I was out in it as much as I could be, and I know a difference between a bull and a four-legged creature and a two-legged creature. The sounds are truly different. And it went on, and I opened up to Psalms. What a wonderful place to land, you know, and I'm reading Psalms 23. And as I'm reading it, it gets crazy for a minute. And then it goes, you lead me by still waters. You restore my soul. And man, it went quiet. I got into West Vader. There was a guy trying to get a community center going there. I slept on their porch. I wanted to be around people. And I told him what happened, and he said, yeah, you know, they have a bunch of witches over there. So I didn't really take that in. You know, I was busy trying to keep myself together and be able to walk all day and sleep by in the ditches, whatever it took, you know. But I've had several other instances, and I can tell you this. You may not believe in God, but these people sure as hell believe in the devil. Know that. God bless you. God keep you. We'll talk later. Happy trails to you. Until we meet again. Happy trails to you. I know we will be friends. We have to put love first, guys. Of all the things we're doing, we must keep love first. Much love. A flag bearer out.